Hey everyone, this is Troy Harper, Dropping the Ash Podcast, episode 25. Welcome. Today I'm going to be discussing and reviewing this great Fat Bottom Betty 6x50 Toro from the Deadwood Tobacco Company and Drew Estate. And anyway, great cigar. Can't wait to review this. And then today I'm also going to discuss and ask you the same question. What got you into cigars? What was the defining moment in your life that got you into cigars? Where was you at the first time you smoked a premium cigar? And what was that experience like? I'll share mine with you today. Welcome today. I'm glad you guys are with me. So glad you're here. I've got a change of scenery today. I'm out at the Four Winds golf course outside of Kimball, Nebraska, where I live. About four or 5 miles going west north out of Kimball, Nebraska. But I just took the footband off of the Fat Bottom Betty. There's the footband that I just took off. And but anyway, this is a beautiful golf course. Really beautiful area. Hopefully it's okay for me to do this podcast here today. This area is for the public. It's not a private golf course, so hopefully they won't mind me doing my cigar review today. I know a lot of people smoke cigars out here on the golf course. The Sweet Jane is my #1 cigar that I sell at my store over at Main Street Market here in Kimball, Nebraska. The Sweet Jane is my number one cigar. For the past, at least over the past 6 months, I've sold over 500 Sweet Jane cigars. The Fat Bottom Betty that I sell at my store as well. I've sold, probably at least 100 of these. But the Sweet Jane is my #1, of course. But anyway, so this is from the same line of cigars. So the Fat Bottom Betty 6x50 Toro. This cigar is the wrapper's Nicaraguan with a Maduro shade. The binder and filler is a manufacturer's secret. They will not reveal what is in the binder and filler, so that's always been a secret. Rumor is that there's pipe tobacco possibly in these cigars because they've got a sweet, kind of a sweet profile, sweet on the tip, some sweetness on the wrapper. You get some other taste notes of some slight pepper, some coffee, dark roast coffee, dark chocolate, and of course some honey sweetness to the tip or to the wrapper, not the foot, but on the cap. The foot definitely get some honey scents on the foot, some natural sweetness on the wrapper. Definitely get a little bit of a cinnamon scent, or kind of a maple cinnamon, kind of a sweetness to scent on the wrapper. Tasting the cap, definitely get some honey sweetness there, but just a little bit of leather smells to this, but some honey and cinnamon sweetness, kind of a sweet smell to the wrapper as well. So really interesting cigar. It's one of my favorites. I smoke these often, but I wanted to, there's a reason why I'm smoking this one today, and I'll get into that, of course. But anyway, so strength is medium to full on this cigar. Country of origin Nicaragua. Around $10.99 to $11.99 a stick. But again, just a great cigar. Usually has great construction, great ash on it, and just a lot of great taste notes coming out of this cigar as well. But let me get this toasted up here and get that going here for you. I'll do a final light on it. I can't say enough about the Deadwood Tobacco Company out of Deadwood, South Dakota. Really great place. Wild Bill, I've had the privilege of getting to know him over time. That owns the Deadwood Tobacco Company in Deadwood, South Dakota. Great guy. And of course, they're partnered up with Drew Estate, of course. that puts out a lot of great cigars. So of course the Undercrowns, you know, or some other great cigars that Drew Estate puts out. It might help if I cut the cap on this before I light it. Gosh. Anyway, so I forgot to cut my my cap there. I was wondering why I couldn't get a draw out of it. So, let me finish toasting this up now. I'll try my other lighter here. Okay. I think my other lighter is low on butane, so I had to go to my other lighter and use it. I always carry an extra lighter just in case. So anyway, guys, again, this cigar, the Fat Bottom Betty, is from the Deadwood Tobacco Company, as well as Drew Estate. Deadwood Tobacco Company out of Deadwood, South Dakota. Wild Bill's the owner. Great guy. But great cigar. Great taste notes, like I said, of honey, some pepper, some dark roast coffee, some dark chocolate. But some honey sweetness on the cap. And again, the binder and filler has never been revealed. The wrapper is Nicaraguan with a Maduro shade. And country of origin is Nicaragua. $11.99 per stick again. But always has great construction. Usually has a pretty good even burn. Great ash buildup on it. But I wished I knew what exactly was in the binder filler. Again, rumor has it that there's been pipe tobacco in with the filler. So I'm not sure. It's always been a mystery. But great smoke coming off of those, great aromas coming off of the cigar. A lot of great aromas. So anyway, glad you guys are here. What have you guys been up to all week? I was actually pretty sick for a couple days. Wednesday I wasn't feeling, Tuesday I wasn't feeling good, and then Wednesday I wasn't feeling good at all. Called in sick from work, stayed in bed. I started feeling better today. This afternoon started feeling better. So I got out of bed, got a shower finally. My beard was all over the place. Hadn't washed it in 2 days, so I washed my beard, took a good shower, washed up, got myself cleaned up again, and got dressed, and did some things around the house today, and took my wife to go get something to eat, and just spent some time with her before doing this podcast here. So I'm glad I'm back. I'm sorry I'm late getting this podcast going. I meant to get this up a couple days ago, but because of being sick, things got delayed. So I'm very sorry for that. I'm glad you guys are here with me though. Thank you for being here today. Glad I could do this podcast in a different area today besides my home. Thought that since it was such a beautiful day, no wind, which Nebraska has always got wind. Today there's no wind, and it's just perfect out, just beautiful. No mosquitoes, no flies, no wasps, nothing. Perfect day. So I thought, the golf course out here is so beautiful. I thought, well, why not do a podcast out the golf course today, and have a change of scenery, have some beautiful outside scenery of Nebraska. So anyway, I thought this would be a perfect place to do one today. So anyway, I'm glad you guys are with me. Thank you. All of you guys have been following me. Thank you. We've got 111 followers on the Harper Cigar Lounge YouTube channel now. So thank you, all of you that have been following me. All of you guys that have been with me from the beginning. Everyone that's new signing up. thank you very much. Without you, I wouldn't be here. So you guys are the greatest. Thank you so much. And hope more of you guys will catch on to this podcast and sign up. But if you haven't joined yet, smash that subscribe button, smash that like button. Give me any feedback and comments or questions that you have. Share this content to everybody you know. I'd really appreciate your support. I'm trying to grow this brand, trying to grow this channel so I can do more for you guys. The more I'm needed, the more I'll do for you guys. So I'm really anxious to do more things in the future. But got the Harper Cigar Lounge, the original Harper Cigar Lounge podcast I'll start up in September again. This will be the 3rd season this September coming up. Got the Dropping the Ash podcast, which is what we're doing right now, with cigar tips and cigar, all cigar content, as well as tips, and just a lot of cigar content on this channel, or on this show. And then of course the Troya Marcia cigar review that just started up not too long ago, about a month ago almost. Got 2 of those shows up now. Looking forward to doing the 3rd one here pretty soon. So really got some good things going right now, but hope to get more going in the future. Got to work on my podcast on Spotify, my audio podcast. I got to get my account straightened out so I can do some more audio podcasts for you guys as well. So anyway, but check out what I do have on Spotify already for the audio podcast under Harper Cigar Lounge. And check out my Facebook group page on Facebook under Harper Cigar Lounge. Got over 1,700 members now. So that's going very well. That group page has much premium cigar content and a lot of hard rock heavy metal content as well. So check that group page out. But really trying to build up this YouTube channel. So make sure you guys subscribe, today to this channel. I'd really appreciate you supporting me and following me. And I think you guys will really love this channel if you check out all the content. So anyway, check it out and message me, keep in touch with me, let me know how y'all are doing, and I'll make sure I can stay in touch back. But anyway, guys, hope you're all doing well. Again, thank you for joining me today. Thanks for being here. Really enjoying being out outside of my home, out at this beautiful golf course, the Four Winds Golf Course outside of Kimball, Nebraska. Like I said, about 3 to 4 miles out of Kimball, going, actually it's going east north, or east south. I apologize. I told you guys west north. It's actually going east south outside of Kimball, Nebraska. So I told you the wrong way. But and then if you guys are in Kimball, make sure you come to the grocery store I manage, Main Street Market. I got lots of premium cigars and great spirits, beers, wines that go great with my cigars. So come in and see me. I'll give you a great deal. So come see me if you're ever in the Kimball, Nebraska area. Come see me. So, but anyway, this cigar is doing well. I can't believe that I forgot to cut the cap before I started lighting it. So hopefully you guys will get a good laugh over that. So first tip of the day is don't start lighting your cigar and toasting it until you cut the cap. So first lesson today. So yeah, make sure you cut your cap first before you start toasting it. So, or else you won't get any combustion. And so I can't believe I did that. So anyway, you guys, I hope you'll get a good laugh out of that. But so anyway, this cigar is doing so good. Getting, like I said, that honey sweetness on the cap. Getting just a little bit of slight pepper, slight leather cedar, and getting just a little bit of a hint of cinnamon. I got some of that cinnamon and some of the cinnamon, kind of a smell off of the wrapper, as well as some of the earthiness or cedar leather kind of smells off the wrapper, as well as kind of a cinnamon smell to it. A little bit of a honey smell off the wrapper. Cold draw, some honey. I think a little bit of cinnamon and honey on the cold draw as well. So, but I do love the band on this also. just a neat band. Says Deadwood Tobacco Company on the side of it there. See if you can kind of see that there. Deadwood Tobacco Company. And it doesn't say Drew State on here anywhere, but it is a product of Drew State. So anyway, but the other cigars that are in this family are the Sweet Jane, which is a 5x50 cigar. And then there's the Crazy Alice, which is a 4x52 pyramid. And then there's the Leather Rose. You can either get the Petite Leather Rose, which is a 4x43, or you can get the pyramid, which is a 5x54. So that's all in the same family. And then on the last podcast I did on cigarellos, I showed you the Sweet Jane cigarello, which is like a 4x, I don't know, 43 or something like that. I'm trying to remember the exact size of that cigarello, but if you're not sure which cigarello I'm talking about, the Sweet Jane cigarello, go to my last podcast, episode 24, and check out that podcast on cigarellos. I feature the Sweet Jane cigarello on that, so check that out. I cannot believe how great this weather is today. Just a perfect day for this kind of cigar. I love Maduro cigars mainly, very bold, peppery. Cigars with dark, roast coffee and pepper spice, leather, cedar. I love those kind of cigars. And this is considered a medium to full strength cigar, but I'm considering more medium strength. This is the cigar that I started smoking. And this is the conversation I'm getting into today. Again, I want to know from you guys, what was your first cigar that you ever smoked, and where was you at when you smoked it? What was it that got you into what pushed you into your cigar journey? What got you onto your cigar journey? What was the place and time where you was at? Where were you when you smoked your first cigar, and what was it? Well, my experience, my first premium cigar, I was very fortunate. You guys all know I'm a Dallas Cowboys fan. A friend of mine was working for Religion Tequila, and some of you have heard this story already, but a friend of mine was working for Religion Tequila out of Dallas, partnered up with this Religion Tequila company. Two guys from the Dallas Cowboys partnered up with it as well. Ed Too Tall Jones, famous defensive lineman, 70s, 80s, was with the Cowboys, retired. And then Kenny the Shark Gant, cornerback with the Dallas Cowboys in the early 90s, up through, he was with them up through 94, and then went on to play for the Tampa Bay Buccaneers, but was in the Super Bowl. He was in the first two Super Bowls that Dallas won in the 90s, Kenny the Shark Gant. So anyway, met up, was invited to Dallas to meet up with these two guys from the Dallas Cowboys at a private club through my friend that worked for Religion Tequila. The two guys from the Dallas Cowboys that I've looked up to for a long time also partnered up with Religion Tequila. I'm getting choked up just talking about it, but I was invited out to hang out with these guys along with my friend at a private club in Dallas, and we're in the club, and I remember Ed Too Tall Jones walking in. He looked like a beast. He looked like a giant. Anyway, he comes in. I start talking with him, introduce myself. He had talked to me previously before I went to Dallas through text messaging. So I introduced myself, told him who I was. And then Kenny the Shark Gant walks in, and I introduced myself to him. And I talked to him before going to Dallas too. And this was on April 24th of 2021 is when I went to Dallas. So just the greatest day of my life, besides finding my wife and marrying my wife. That's the number one important day of my life, is marrying my wife. That I had such a crush on in high school, that I finally found in my life and got to be with her. So that's the best thing in my life that's ever happened. But the second best thing in my life that's ever happened is getting to meet these two guys from the Dallas Cowboys and get to hang out with them, and got some of my memorabilia signed, and just got into a lot of great conversation with these guys. And while we were sitting there talking, they had these black boxes, looked like little travel boxes of some sort. Didn't know what it was. Didn't know what it was. But I'm sitting there wondering what these boxes are. And then they said, well, let's go outside on the patio. So we went outside, and they opened up these boxes, and there was all these premium cigars. And they handed me one, which was this one right here, the Fat Bottom Betty 6x50 Toro. Funny thing was, is it reminded me of the Swisher Sweets that I smoked all my life up until 2021. So I thought it was pretty ironic that the first cigar they handed me was this Fat Bottom Betty. So of course I knew nothing about cutting and lighting, so they helped me with that. I told them I never smoked a premium cigar before, and had them cut it and light it for me, showed me how that worked. And I started puffing on it, and I couldn't believe that it reminded me of the Swisher Sweets, but much better, of course, much better than the Swisher Sweets. But I thought it was ironic that the first time I got to smoke a premium cigar was with two of my heroes from the Dallas Cowboys, and that the first cigar I smoked with them was a cigar that was very similar, I thought, to the Swisher Sweets. But like I said, much better taste, quality, much better, just much better quality all the way around, with the stick itself with the wrapper, binder, filler, taste. Of course, the Swisher Sweets have a paper wrapper, and it's all malt chip tobacco on the inside. And who knows what else they put in there. I don't know what else they put in those Swisher Sweets. But anyway, this cigar reminded me of them, but I just loved it so much better. I enjoyed it much better because it was a slower smoke. It was a smoke that I got to let, it lasted while we had conversation for a good couple hours of conversation we had outside of the club on their deck. And so anyway, so this stick will always be very dear to my heart, very special for me, just because of it being my first cigar I ever smoked, and because of who I got it from, which was Kenny the Shark Gant. This is a cigar he handed me to smoke, and he showed, he cut it and lit it for me, cut it up, cut it for me, and pretty much showed me how to smoke it, which I had an idea of how to smoke it because I never did inhale Swisher Sweets. I knew with any kind of cigar you're supposed to leave the smoke in your mouth and release it. So I already pretty much knew how to smoke a cigar. But he reminded me of how to smoke it anyway, and I graciously listened to his instructions on how to puff on it and smoke it. So I graciously listened anyway because I just appreciated who it was. And boy, I'll still never get over the fact that I got to smoke my first cigar with two of the Dallas Cowboys, and two of the guys that I'd watched on TV for so many years. And while I was there, Kenny the Shark Gant let me wear his Super Bowl ring. It was his Super Bowl ring. It was, let's see here. Can't remember what year. It was the Super Bowl ring from '94. I wish I could write better with my notes. At the time I'm writing my notes, but they look fine. I can read them, but then when I go to read them, I can't figure out what I write. But anyway, so the cigar that it was Super Bowl 28 was the Super Bowl ring that Kenny Gant let me wear. He let me wear a Super Bowl ring the whole time we visited that afternoon. From the time we sat down to visit inside the club, and while we was outside the club on the deck, I still had the Super Bowl ring. Kept trying to give it back to Kenny. He wouldn't take it. He said, "You just keep wearing that ring until we're done visiting today." So it was just awesome that he let me have his Super Bowl ring to wear, and he trusted me with it. So, but anyway, the Super Bowl 28 was Dallas and the Buffalo Bills, of course. Dallas won that Super Bowl 30-13 in Atlanta, Georgia, at the Georgia Dome. So it was pretty, I'll just never forget watching that Super Bowl and being so excited. Of course, Dallas had won the Super Bowl previous previous year, which was Super Bowl 27 at the Rose Bowl in Pasadena, California. I'll never forget Dallas going back to the Super Bowl for the first time since the 70s. And it was just an exciting time in my life. So getting to see Kenny the Shark Gant play during that Super Bowl, and winning over the Buffalo Bills, 52-17. They just slaughtered the Bills that year, which was January 31st of 1993. And then Super Bowl 27, which was in Pasadena, California at the Rose Bowl. That's where Dallas beat the Bills 52-17, January 31st of 1993. And then the ring that I got to wear was from Super Bowl 28, where the Dallas Cowboys beat the Buffalo Bills 30-13. And that was at the Georgia Dome, January 30th, 1994. So anyway, guys, I've gotten kind of choked up talking about this whole thing. I always do get pretty choked up discussing this story because it was such a life changer for me. I'll just never forget it. I'll never forget it. I just can't believe my first premium cigar was with two guys from the Dallas Cowboys. And then I can't believe my first cigar that I ever smoked was this Fat Bottom Betty right here that reminded me so much of the Swisher Sweets that I smoked throughout my life. But being handed this cigar by Kenny the Shark Gant was just such a huge privilege for me. And I just couldn't believe that I was smoking my first premium cigar with two of the Dallas Cowboys, and my buddy at the time, of course, that was from here in Kimball. That lives in Dallas still. So anyway, but just a great experience I'll never forget. And just a wonderful experience in my life. It changed my life forever. Of course, I came back after that. And you guys have heard my story, but came back after that trip and just so excited about what happened to me and getting some things autographed and that I had held on to for so long in my life that I finally got to get autographed by these guys. And but not too long after, stressful week at work, and of course being in Kimball at the time, living at the time in Kimball after that trip, there was no premium cigars in town that I could go buy. I didn't even sell them at my store at the time, but I went up to the C-store up the street from us and found some Swisher Sweets and went back to my grocery store and got a little 2-pack of Stella. And it was just a very stressful week. And you guys have probably heard that story, so I won't get into it. Stressful week at work. Told my wife I need to go find some kind of a cigar and drink a little thing of wine just to calm myself down. I was actually going to be off the next day finally. So I thought, well, I don't have to work the next day, so I can definitely stay up a little bit and smoke, a couple cigars and have a little bit of wine and unwind and get my thoughts off of work and what was going on at work at the time. And so, of course, and then, so that really helped. I told my wife that really helped. That was just great that I got to have a cigar and some wine. And then Father's Day came around. I woke up and my wife and my son, Jason, had bought me 2 premium cigars, which was a Camacho, Connecticut, or I believe at the time, or Corojo, Camacho, and they also bought me a Warhead premium cigar as well. And there was a cigar cutter and a cigar lighter, and I couldn't believe that they went out and bought that for me. So they found those at our Scottsbluff grocery store within our chain, and that's where they said they got it. I had never bought cigars at that place before because I had never been in situations where I could smoke premium cigars, so I didn't even really realize that our liquor store at our grocery store in Scottsbluff, which is Main Street Market also, had no idea that they sold premium cigars, but that's where they said they bought it. And I thought, well, darn, if they've got premium cigars, then I need to find out who they're buying from so I can start ordering for my store. That way I've got cigars when I want it. And then, of course, I started passing the word around to all the guys in town, and that I got to know. I asked them if they smoked cigars. They said yes. I told them I was bringing them in. Got the word around before they even came to my store. So then everybody was excited about getting cigars. So my cigar sales have been doing very well. They keep getting better and better. I've been selling premium cigars at my store now for 2 years now. So, and they're doing very well. They're getting better and better. But I want to say it's been maybe closer to 3 years now that I've been selling cigars at my store. So I've got around almost 50 different varieties of premium cigars. Got cutters, lighters. Need to bring some more Boveda packs into the store, but I got cutters, lighters. I got travel cases. Get a lot of people that travel through here, Kimball, truck drivers and other people that pass through. So they like to buy these travel humidors. And then people come into Kimball to come to this golf course to golf. So they buy my Sweet Janes for the most part. And they buy the Sweet Janes and they bring them out here to the golf course to smoke. So they'll buy my travel humidors and put their cigars in while they're coming out here to the golf course. So it's been a great thing for Kimball. It's been a great service to a lot of people here in Kimball. And the cigar sales are getting better and better. So, but in the beginning, I selfishly brought them into my store so I could have them near me, so I could buy them when I wanted them. But getting the word out to everyone else, other people started buying them too. So anyway, it's been great having my own cigars at my own store. And of course, I do buy cigars from Cigars Daily also from my buddy Tim Swanson at Cigars Daily out of Phoenix, Arizona. But I do buy cigars from them also, but I do usually from them I'll buy cigars that I don't have yet. That way I can taste some different cigars and see what else is great out there. That way if I like them, I can bring them into my store. So it gives me a chance to try new cigars. That way if I think they're going to be a good seller for my store and the price is right and it's the kind of cigars that people want in this community, I know they're good ones to bring in. So that's been a great thing about Cigars Daily, buying cigars from them ever so often, getting to taste some new stuff to see what will work for my store. So anyway, so speaking of Tim Swanson, congratulations on your boxing match for winning that over in Las Vegas recently. And it's great to know you, brother. Thank you for your friendship. You're someone I look up to very much still, and I appreciate you. So I appreciate you being in my life. And Terrence over at Cigars Daily, I'm saying hello to you as well. It's been great talking to you on the phone, getting to know you too. So it's been great to get to know you guys. But anyway, so that's my story of when I started smoking premium cigars and where I was when it happened. So you guys leave in the comments where you were, where you had your first premium cigar. What caused you to have your first premium cigar? Who was it with? Was it your friends, family? Was it with somebody famous maybe? Where were you at? And was it what caused you to start your cigar journey? But like I said, that day being with those guys with the Dallas Cowboys, it changed my life forever. Because of that first premium cigar, my wife and my son buying me a couple more premium cigars, which I forgot to tell you. Then a couple of days later, after they got me the cigars, cutter and lighter, they had ordered a desktop humidor for me. So that's really where my cigar journey started. I thought, well, now I've got room to buy some other cigars to put in it and to collect. So I started doing that, and it's caused me to where now I've got 4 desktop humidors with different cigars in each one. I've got an electric humidor. It's a Schmecky. I did a cigar or a short on YouTube with a tour of my cigars in my Schmecky electric humidor. So I got around 250 cigars in that as well. So I got a lot of cigars. I've got probably at least around 400 some cigars now. So different ones. A lot of them came from my grocery store where I order cigars, and a lot of them came from there, but a lot of them have came from Cigars Daily as well as the store in Scottsbluff, our grocery store in Scottsbluff, our liquor store in Scottsbluff at the Main Street Market there. I buy cigars from them too off and on. So, and then I've also gotten some of my cigars from the Smoker Friendly out of Cheyenne, Wyoming. They've got a huge walk-in humidor. So I buy a lot of cigars from them as well. I get to try cigars there too that I want to maybe bring into my store. And then there's a Smoker Friendly in Sidney, Nebraska, which is going 45 miles east of us here. Cheyenne's 45 to 50, well, about 50 miles going west. And then Sidney, Nebraska, 45 minutes going east. So they've got a small walk-in humidor, and they've got a decent amount of some cigars too. So I buy from them ever so often as well. So anyway, but a lot of my cigars come from my own grocery store. So, but anyway, it's been great having cigars so close to me in all different areas. Scottsbluff, Cheyenne, Sidney in my store, and then Cigars Daily as well that I buy online with. So a lot of great sources where I get cigars and get to taste different cigars to see what works in bringing in to my store. So, but I definitely want to know where you guys had your first experience with a premium cigar, what caused that experience, what caused you to smoke your first premium cigar. And maybe it was when you were a teenager and you snuck it out of your dad's humidor. I don't know. It doesn't matter. Let me know where your first experience was, what got you on your cigar journey. But if it hadn't been for that moment in Dallas with me, these podcasts wouldn't be happening. But yeah, and then going back again a little bit later, February of 2022, my wife and my son started a cigar lounge for me in the basement of our house, and I've added more to it over time. So yeah, so if it wasn't for that moment in Dallas, Texas, with those guys from the Dallas Cowboys, everything that led up to now wouldn't have happened. Just one thing led to the other. Being in Dallas, smoking the Fat Bottom Betty, and then my wife and my son buying me a couple cigars at home, and the lighter cutter and the humidor, and then it led to the cigar lounge. And then the cigar lounge led to me starting these podcasts. And I only started off with one podcast. Now I've got 3 different podcast shows, if you want to call it. So it's led to different things. And gosh, it's just led to so many great things in my life. And then all this has led to getting to know all of you out there all around the world. So, the cigar lounge led to my group page. My first podcast, which is the Harper Cigar Lounge podcast, that was on February 14th of 2023, where I did my first podcast, and now it's led to all these other great podcasts that I've gotten to be a part of, and then I've gotten to know other guys, around the world, Samuel Hoffman and Corey Banks and Samuel Hoffman, Corey Banks, and Jason, the intern over at Cigar Junkies in Pittsburgh, Pennsylvania. So, and then I've met other people, Tim Swanson from Cigars Daily in Phoenix. I've even had contact with David Garofalo with Two Guys Cigars out of Pennsylvania, and the Cigar Authority podcast. So, gotten to know a lot of great guys over time. So, but I do want to go ahead and wrap this up here in a few. But I do want to give a shout out to one of my biggest heroes, drummer, which is Tommy Aldridge. His birthday is today, August 15th, 1950. He was born. He's at the age of 74. Ex-drummer for Ozzy Osbourne. Been a drummer for Whitesnake for, since the 80s. He's been a drummer since 87. He's been with Whitesnake, one of my biggest heroes. So happy birthday to you, Tommy Aldridge, out there. I don't know if you'll ever find this podcast, but if you so happen to stumble across this podcast, happy birthday to you, brother. It was great getting to see you back in 87 with Whitesnake. Wish I could have seen you when you was with Ozzy Osbourne, but anyway, you're one of my biggest drumming heroes, and of course I've been a drummer throughout my life, and he was definitely one of the drummers I looked up to and learned from. So happy birthday, Tommy Aldridge. And I want to give a shout out to some of my followers, Eugene Constantino, Austin Blaine, Alguin in Clarksville, Arkansas, originally from Rock Springs, Wyoming. He used to be one of my residents, or one of my kids at a children's home I used to work at back in Torrington, Wyoming, the St. Joseph's Children's Home. So I've go way back with Austin. He's an adult now, doing very well, of course. And he's been following me. So Austin, if you see this podcast, hello to you, buddy. Miss you. I'm glad you're doing so well in life. I'm glad you're happy. Glad you're doing well. Indiana Smoke, Enrico Mimali, Jeff and Shirley Caston over in Potter, Nebraska, which is about 15 minutes from here going east. Shirley Caston used to be my dairy manager at the grocery store. She helped in our meat department, helped in our freezer department. I've been close to her for a long time and gotten to know Jeff, her husband, over time. Got to have a great night with them here a couple weeks ago. Got to go over to their house and we set out. Me and Jeff, her husband, sat out and smoked cigars all night. And we all talked. Shirley, sat with us, but she didn't smoke a cigar. But we all had a couple drinks, and me and Jeff smoked cigars. And he's really into the Sweet Janes also. And so got to hang out with those guys for a night. So that was really great. Hope to get together with you guys here pretty soon again. And then Zach and Jake with Cigars with Prov. It's a newer podcast on YouTube that they started. They're out of Pittsburgh, Pennsylvania as well. The Cigar Junkies are out of Pittsburgh, Pennsylvania, if I didn't mention that. But make sure you guys check out Cigar Junkies on YouTube, on Facebook, on all platforms. Check those guys out. They're great guys, great hard workers. And their show is just a lot of fun to watch. So they do a live show every Sunday morning, 7:30 in the morning Eastern. They do their podcast out of Pittsburgh, Pennsylvania at Just the Tip Cigars. So make sure you catch those guys, and make sure you check Zach and Jake out at Cigars with Prov out of Pittsburgh, Pennsylvania on YouTube. Make sure you check those guys out. So anyway, guys, I appreciate you guys hanging out with me, and you guys are the greatest. Thanks for all you guys that are following me. But this cigar is still doing great. Great taste notes of honey, cinnamon, leather, cedar, slight pepper, some slight coffee, dark roast coffee, slight pepper. More medium strength. I wouldn't say this is a full strength cigar. Medium strength. And just a great cigar. Great construction, great ash. Burn line's pretty good overall. I did one relight on it because I accidentally bumped it on the corner of the picnic table here, so I had to give it a relight just in case I wanted to go out on me because of that. But overall, a great cigar. It's burning well. Getting kind of into the second, third, and the taste notes really don't change a lot on this, but the taste notes are just great all the way through. Really good cigar. So make sure you guys check out the Fat Bottom Betty Toro. Make sure you guys get yourself one of these. I think you'll enjoy it. And check out all the other great cigars from the Deadwood Tobacco Company. The Leather Rose, the Sweet Jane, the Crazy Alice. Make sure you check those cigars out also. And I've actually got them with me. I'll give you a quick peek at these cigars. Here is the Crazy Alice Pyramid, 4x, let's see, what was it? 4x43. No, I'm sorry, 4x52. And then the Sweet Jane, 5x50 Robusto. And then the Leather Rose, 5x54 cigar. And again, all these cigars, they've never revealed the filler and the binder, so that's a big secret. But I believe there's pipe tobacco in it, possibly. It reminds me of a lot of the pipe tobacco my dad smoked, or had coming out of his, or that he used in his pipes. A lot of cherry kind of smells that come out of the pipes he used to smoke. And these kind of remind me, the aromas in the air kind of have that cherry sweet scent to it. So that's what it reminds me of. And then of course, don't forget about the Fat Bottom Betty Toro. This also comes in a Gordo size 6x60. And I believe it comes in a Robusto 5x50 as well. But anyway, great cigar, the Fat Bottom Betty. So anyway, check out all these cigars from the Deadwood Tobacco Company and by Drew Estate. Well, leave in the comments how this cigar ends. I'll leave in the comments on that. But anyway, guys, thank you for joining me today. Thank you so much. I've enjoyed hanging out with you guys again. This is Troy Harper again at Dropping the Ash podcast at Harper Cigar Lounge. This is episode 25. So thank you for being with me. Again, if you haven't joined the Harper Cigar Lounge YouTube channel, make sure you subscribe. Hit the link below and subscribe. by smashing the subscribe button, smash that like button, leave me your comments, feedbacks, any questions, and share this content to everybody you know. I'd really appreciate your support. But anyway, God bless you guys. And again, the Fat Bottom Betty Toro by Drew Estate and the Deadwood Tobacco Company out of Deadwood, South Dakota. But anyway, guys, thank you for joining me. God bless you guys. And have a great rest of your day. Please stay in touch with me. I'll stay in touch with you. And God bless you guys. And again, thank you. I'll talk to you later. Bye-bye.